And we are live. Welcome back to the Counter-Strike Casuals podcast. I think we're not going to even bother with how's your mother and how do you do. So let's just get straight into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
We don't need to bore
Let's
everyone
go.
with what's happening.
Yeah.
Right, first thing I want to talk about, okay, is I want to go straight into Falcons. I want to talk about what everyone's been
Yeah.
talking about in the scene. The
Well,
Go
go
on.
on.
You
I was going
say.
to say, this is like last week this video got dropped, right? But we've not been on since, so.
Yeah, and so there's two versions of the video. There's two versions of this vlog thing. I don't know. I think you've watched the one that I originally watched, and why I know there's two versions is because I watched one, and it was the one that I watched was direct from Falcons YouTube, and then someone on Twitter posted a longer version where it looked like they cut more out of them kind of talking about BOROS and the issues they had surrounding him. Okay, I'm gonna tell you I really liked this thing, this vlog, this video, whatever you want to call it. I would watch that. It was just good. I just really enjoyed watching it. It gave me actually made me actually come out of it supporting Falcons more, despite what everyone seems to think. Obviously, I'm going to take this take, right. I thought Magisk was way more vocal and influential than I ever thought he'd be. I kind of knew he was a bit, but like he was almost the coach. It felt like half the time, and the IGL. Um, what did you? Where should we start? What do you want to talk about? Because I've got loads to say.
Go on, go on. You
Okay,
just go. Then I can butt in at the end because I feel like you've got a lot more to say than me.
all right. The state of the Counter Strike community, be it professional or casual or journalistic, whatever you want to say, is it is embarrassing how people actually felt that Boros was wrongly treated, and that they were almost bullying him and saying like, "Oh, it makes them in such a bad light." It's like, are you guys on a fucking other planet? They were trying to qualify for the biggest tournament of the year ever so far in this game, where it could make and break careers. It could basically, the amount these guys get paid for qualifying and having like a semi-deep run in a major is like actually generally what some people would make in like 10 years or something. Like, let's be real, like some people would not make this money. So if someone in your camp, and also I've actually been in corporate environments without going into too much of like life stuff. I've been in corporate world for a long time. I've been in corporate environments where there's one member in the team, yeah, who keeps doing little things, like little fucking annoying things, right? Like I can like literally give you real life examples where they don't empty the, like, and this might sound really stupid. They don't empty the dishwasher, but everyone else empties the dishwasher when you leave the office. They fucking don't turn the lights off. Everyone else turns the lights off. They fucking forget to bring the fucking notepad to the meeting. Everyone else has got a notepad. And even if that guy or girl is quite a good performer, there's just something niggling at you. Like he or she is fucking annoying, and they are bringing us down as a team, because it is irrelevant if like they can shoot some heads or whatever, or they can sell 100 things. If every day you see them and you're like, Jesus Christ, whatever those little things are doing, you're doing wrong, and no one else is doing them in the team. So no one else is in. Mr. Boros is forgetting their in-ear headphones. No one else is changing mouse fucking before the most important thing in the world. Like for us, no one's fiddling with settings like mid-game. Why are they not even pretending that they need a tech pause for that? Like, why wouldn't you just be like, oh shit, my computer's broken? Pretend the admin comes over. Oh, I think it might be this setting. Never mind, let's play on the game. Anyway, that was just side note. I've been in that environment, and I can fully. You could just tell that Boros is one of those guys that is amazingly talented and will do well at a team, but he is just slightly not doing the same or the right thing that everyone else is doing in a professional environment where they're getting paid tens of thousands of pounds a month to click on heads. And I can just get their frustration. Like honestly, it was like completely fair, like absolutely understandable. And if anything, it's probably what he was like in the team before, in whatever Monty or whatever it was. Um, And he's here the same here. Like a leopard in that sense can't change his spots that much. He's still young. He's still a bit fucking stupid and naive, I imagine. And to be fair to him, in the video, he accepted it. He was like, "Yeah, I fucked up. I was tilted. Whether I shouldn't have done those things." And it looked like they kind of moved on and said, "Look, fair enough. Whatever. We've had a moan at you. You're fucking annoying, but you're also annoyingly good as well. So it's just like a catch-22. Let's move on." And I don't know. I just felt like it was completely justified, fair. I think it was handled with passion, professionalism. I don't know why my throat's going. Intensity, which is completely justified in the situation. That's how I feel.
Okay. So I think maybe we could have given a bit of insight before this, or we could have played the clip. But
Been living under a rock
so
then.
for what I've seen, yeah, Zonic starts off by it was after the game they lost to FaZe, right?
Yeah, I can't remember what game it was. Maybe.
Yeah, they lost to FaZe. So after the game, they
Which is a
met
fair
up,
game to lose.
which is always this is weird for me. Like all these teams seem to have meetings in car parks, like.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you'd expect them to be in some kind of changing room or something. I don't know, like a proper sports team, but I guess they're not going to have a changing room.
Well,
So anyway,
they love smoking. Some of them, don't they?
yeah. So they're outside. Zonix starts off by saying, you know, I'm not going to point my finger at any individuals, blah blah blah. But I'm pointing my finger at you, Boros. You fucking forgot your inners. You forgot your fucking mouse. So when I saw it, I was a little bit like, when I first saw the clip on Twitter, I was a little bit, oh, that was a bit out of order. Like, it looked like you ganged up on him a little bit. Then when I watched it, I was like, oh, it's clearly out of passion. Boros kind of held his hands up himself and said, yeah, you're right, I kind of fucked up. So I didn't have a major issue with that. I do feel like Boros was massively singled out. It feels like, I don't know if this is Zonic's team or Magic's team. Like, it feels like it's Magic's team, like, to be honest with you. He's very, very vocal. They're clearly very friendly. And it does seem like a bullying mentality, to be honest, or bullying scenario. The fact that Magis and Sonic are clearly on the same page. When you know the background as well, that they've come to this team together, they're setting it up together. And then you've got Snappy, Madden, and some Pious from another team. The only outsider is Boros, and it does look like, when you take everything into consideration, it looks like it's very targeted to this one individual that's on his own. And I'm not saying it is or it isn't. Like, we don't know. Like that one game where he didn't play well, he changed his mouse, he's got his Nvidia settings up mid-game, all that shit is bang out of order. But what what got it for me, Boros admitted he was in the wrong. So if someone admits they're in the wrong, then I'm like, okay, so this guy's he's he's willing to admit he's made a mistake. Can he work on that? The game after, was it the game after? They played Eternal Fire and they lost that as well. He was top frag. He was a top rated player on their team after that. So then I kind of thought, okay, maybe he's took what they've said on board. But during the whole RMRs, he didn't play great. So I don't know, like, if he's constantly making these mistakes, then yeah, I completely agree. Like, yeah, he needs to go. But they've got rid of him. He seemed singled out to me, even from like an outside perspective. Before I saw this video, he seemed singled out. Seeing this video, he seems even more singled out. I think you comparing it to corporate life is, for you, it's like, well, this happens all the time. This is normal. I don't think it's that as normal as what you think, but I think in terms of sports and high pressure environments, it is extremely normal. And I don't think they were too bad. They were just letting off steam, and I don't think Boros took it that bad. To be fair, I think it's just the way it looks from an outsider's view looking in. It does look really bad because, like I say, those two they seem like they're running that team, right?
Yep.
You would not, if you watch that documentary, you would not say that Magis wasn't the in-game leader. You'd be
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's his team. It looks like they fucking set it up, them two. Also, they keep going on saying it's a long it's a long process. This team, they clearly want to win now, and the importance of a major, I get it, but there's going to be enough one in 6 months, and I they lost to FaZe as well. All their excuses on this mouse thing, or a lot of talk is around this one game. They lost to FaZe, best team in the world, highest ranked team in the world. If he remembered his mouse and he remembered his in-ears, or he didn't change his mouse, sorry, would they have won that game? Who fucking knows? Probably not. Because then they fucking lost to Amcal as well. So what are we fucking talking about FaZe for? Like you're supposed to lose that game.
I think the if he'd not, I think that the bigger picture here is the like build up and compounding nature of this person in a team environment where they're super competitive and they're trying their hardest to win, and he just keeps doing really small annoying fuck up things. And like I said, I've been in that situation at work, and you just can't get out your head. You're like, we need this person out. Like
Yeah.
they're just well
If
annoying. Like
if that is the case, then yeah, I agree with you. I think it's hard to say. Like, I don't know if you've seen more um
well,
of like
sorry
that.
to interrupt. One of the larger clips also shows Madden saying about being late for practice, and it was hinted that he was late for practice as well. Like, little things like
Yeah.
that, you're just like, oh, come
So
on.
if it is, and even in that documentary, there's people saying there's people. I can't remember if it was Madden or some pious or Snappy, one of them. Basically, they're talking about people being unprofessional, and it does seem like they're all being a little bit against Boros. So there's no smoke without fire. It does seem like there is an issue with him, um, and maybe he needed to go. Like I noticed in one of the clips of their performance director, or whoever he is, was saying,
Lars or whatever.
yeah, was saying we've had this in Vitality, we've done this. You guys have done this in Ants. He obviously never said anything about Boros, but they made this team. You like they said, right, we want those three from Ents, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boros was already there. It's like there's no choice. You're having this guy as well because he's a highest rated player and he's representing our country maybe for the organization.
Mm. I just think it's a good move to get shot. I think that it's a toxic. Not he. I don't think he's toxic. I don't think he was like a simple level of like cunting people out. Sorry to use that word, but like it was like a almost like a virus. His actions would have been in that team. And again, I'm just speaking from experience. I don't. It's like coming back to me now more and more times where we've had in a working situation where you just got rid of someone for less than fucking what these guys get paid and what Boris like. Theirs
Yeah.
is even more amplified. Like it means everything, you know.
I trust Sonic though and the rest of the team to make that right decision. Like Boros clearly wasn't right for the team for whatever reason, whether he wasn't performing or he was just being unprofessional. He clearly wasn't right for the team. Um, this it's no detriment to his character or him being a good Counter Strike player or anything like that. But if he's not fitting in, even if he was the nicest guy in the world and they're just like he doesn't fit in and it's not going to work, you've got to get rid of him. Like
Yeah.
it's a ruthless scenario. And if he's being, like you say, if his head's not in the right place and he's being clumsy and whatnot, and he's forgetting stuff, and it's just one thing after another, then you can only give someone so many chances.
Well,
Which also brings go on.
oh no, you go.
It brings me to another point. He's forgot his in ears and he's changed his mouse and stuff like that. Do these guys not have like um what do they call
Supplies,
them? Yeah, like what do they call him in football? Like a kit manager.
kit man. I don't. No, mate. They clearly don't because when Cypher went to the major, he
Well,
brought his stuff up in a Tesco bag.
yeah, well we know they don't, but you'd think they should. Like maybe into the breach don't, but you'd think some of these top orgs would I don't know. Like we know, like we see players taking their own stuff, and maybe they have their own mouse that they like or whatnot. I get that as well. But you'd think maybe the team would have, right. You're in charge of everyone's stuff. Boros, this is his equipment, and this is what he likes. Boom. Like he's got to remember his own innards to a major. Like
I mean, that's
just
not hard
fucking
to do, though,
grab
is it?
some.
Yeah.
Like
In basketball, if you had like one player that like popped up once in a while with like the most points, but not every game, and some games he was like bottom, and then like he forgot his shoes like every week and was late to training, and like um then I don't know what would be good one, but that kind of thing you would just be like get rid, like we can find probably a more reliable mid scorer who's actually going to turn up fucking first,
yeah.
help with the kit, you know what I mean, you just like get that
Yeah,
guy in.
I think for me it's like, yeah, get rid of him, but I don't want all the blame to be on him because it's like at the end of the day, guys, that's 1 out of 4. If you guys are good enough to do well, you can at least get through the RMRs. You lost against Amcal,
Yeah,
um,
yeah, I
and I
agree,
can't
that's
I can't remember who else they lost against. They lost against FaZe. It's like, yeah, fair enough, guys. And I feel like they lost to Eternal Fire as well, right?
yeah, which again is fair enough, isn't it?
Yeah, so they had a tough run. They beat who did they beat to start off with? Someone.
I can't actually remember. I watched the documentary, but I watched it last
Oh,
week when it was released.
3D Max. They
Oh
beat
yeah,
13-8, so pretty comfortable win. And then they lost against Eternal Fire, FaZe, and Amcal, which FaZe and Eternal Fire you can kind of understand, and
yeah.
Amcal is a little bit
Well,
of a
they've
stretch.
Wamco have been the team that have been riding the high and actually got there.
Yeah, well, let's say Boros was letting you down. It's the other 4 players should be able to carry you to the playoffs. Like if you're that good, or
Yeah,
maybe it is a case of you're only as good as your weakest link. What do you think?
yeah. I think I'm not sure exactly. I think it is quite soon for them to be qualifying for this kind of thing, and we've not seen any of the new like proper put together teams like Liquid or whatever manage to do it. So it probably does need a bit longer. But I think it was the right decision because of all these underlying. It'll only get worse if they kept him in and kept trying to like paper over the cracks. Um, and so I don't know. Let's see that they're not at the major. It's actually a shame they're not at the major because the major's now shaping up to be really strong as well. And it would have been good to have another strong team in there. Um,
Yeah, but they're not that strong. I wouldn't swap any team that are in there for Falcons, would you?
Not at this stage. In the opening stage, then like an Amcal or someone easily, but not at this. The next stage, whatever this
It's
fucking new
it
stage is
seems
called.
it seems funny as well that we're talking about this, and
They're not even
we
a
should
major.
we shouldn't be really like.
Well, interestingly, then we'll quickly wrap up on Falcons. We'll just move on to next thing because obviously they've got rid of Chuck Boris, and then they've put Dupree back in. Okay,
Hmm.
so
I mean,
go. The floor is
ah,
yours.
I don't know what to think of this because he's I don't think they're gonna do anything outrageous with this team, to be honest with you. Um, no, I mean they're not. I don't know if they're a top 10 team. They need a top fragger like um who could they have? Like an elite type player, like a really good rifler they need at the moment, I feel. Obviously they're not getting elites, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And so when I saw the news, look, if you don't know, I rate Dupree highly to the point where when we did our best players of CS:GO ever, if you've not watched the video, go check the YouTube channel, guys. I put Dupree, and it was my video. I can take Breely out of this and just take all the blame. I put Dupree in the top 5 players of all time of CS:GO, and that's how highly I rate this man. He is a legend of the game and someone that should be respected by everyone. However, the excitement and the anticipation of a Falcons type team has just completely, like, it's been a roller coaster, right? It's peaked at the point where we thought they were going to get Nico and all that stuff. It's then dropped dramatically when they just said, "Oh, actually, we're just going to try like 3 of the guys that are already in the team and see how that goes." Then it peaked back up a bit more when we saw the Ents boys and all that going, not massively, but a bit. Then it kind of dropped again when they were just shit, and then it picked up again when they got Simple in.
Yeah.
And we're like, this is fucking can't make my mind up. Like, this is like having diabetes with blood pressure up and down. It's like,
Yeah.
and
I
now,
mean,
and now
how
we're
much did
back to Dupree.
how much did they pay to have Simple for that one game, or whatever it was?
Don't know, but he was fucking shit as well. And now,
I know who they
Dupree
need.
is that? Who?
I know who they need.
Who do they need?
Nerds.
Yeah, yeah.
They fucking do, don't they?
And ironically, and I hold my hands up. I think I said this. I might have said last podcast. I was the one that said Nerds came out the worst out of all this stuff, and he was.
Yeah.
He's not. He's the one that's probably done the best.
Yeah, I mean,
at least
how are
they,
we?
at least he went to the major. They're out of the. They're not through to the next stage, but at least they got there. Anyway.
Yeah, it surprised me how well Heroic did, actually, to be fair.
All jokes aside, Dupree has. Look, the guy's a legend. There's a reason why he's been so consistent over so many years. He probably turns up and does a job, mate, and they probably do go on a little. Not going to win anything, but I think they could have a little deep run just off the back of him joining. It'll feel a bit comfortable. He definitely won't be late for stuff or forget stuff, and everyone will just feel a bit like, right, well, at least we're heading in the right direction. When he's been at Prezi as well, and he's actually had good ratings. So it's like 1.14 over his time at Prezi. I mean, the level of competition has not been top tier, top 15 teams, but still, he's been playing and at least putting up some numbers that make you think, well, he's not coming into this completely rusty, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, right. Let's move on to the major. So the major, we're in this little break bit, right? It starts up again tomorrow, so I can't even bloody remember now who I watched, what I watched, who played well. Obviously, Mouse and Spirit got the 3-0. So that's very exciting, and you got your pick'ems right on that. Was there any other doubt that Spirit weren't going to do that? I don't think so. I'm an idiot for not putting them in there. But it's good to see Mouse consistently putting up stuff. I've not watched one Mouse game in this major, which I'm going to change completely on Friday night when I watch Mouse G2. Right, what do you want to say about these boys? Anything or what?
Well, it's funny because while I was waiting for you, I was kind of looking around and I was looking at my pick'ems, I was looking at my fantasy. It all starts tomorrow, and I was a little bit like, oh, I'm not sure. You know what it's like, because I'm pretty full on. So whenever I do these things, I'm doing it within fucking 2 minutes. I'm not looking into loads of details. I'm just doing what I think. So I did my pick'ems for the playoffs, and I was like, let me get it up actually. So
This is the pick'ems for the next stage. Playoffs is the next stage.
For the playoffs, yeah. Sorry.
So not the group stage or whatever. I can't remember what they're calling this.
Group stage. I was expecting Mouse to do well. Obviously, I put them as 3-0.
Yeah, you got the Mouse and the Spirit call right.
Yeah. My 0-3s didn't come in. I can't remember who I put now, but yeah, I think everyone did as expected. I mean, a few months ago, we probably both said Vitality were going to win it. We don't think either of us feel the same now. This was before Spirit, before Shiro came to Spirit, right?
Yeah, maybe.
So now, I'm just talking about the playoffs. I was just concerned, are Mouse going to get through G2? Because Mouse haven't had the hardest run, to be honest. Even though they have been doing incredibly well. That's going to be their toughest game. I think, honestly, if Mouse can do it, they will beat Spirit in the final.
Really interesting. Okay, so
yeah. I think Mouse are one of those. There's only a couple of teams that can beat Spirit, and none of them are in the top. Obviously, Spirit in the top 3, but only Mouse are in the top 5. I would say that can beat Spirit.
Mm, I like that take. So we both agree it's going to be a Mouse Spirit final. That I think a lot of people are thinking that or maybe Vitality, but I think Vitality just don't look great, right? I just feel like I don't know.
They're weird, right? Because
I almost feel like weirdly Cloud9 could do them on this first
yeah,
game.
yeah, I do. The games I'm worried about. I mean, we've got Mouse beating G2. We've got pretty much the same. Mouse beating G2, Eternal Fire beating Navi, Spirit beating FaZe, Vitality beating Cloud9. But Cloud9 could beat Vitality,
Hmm.
and G2 could beat Mouse. It's really hard to call.
I can't see FaZe beating Spirit.
I can't. I can't.
Aye.
I mean, I can't remember when we watched. Was it like a semi-final? We watched them two play each other, and I'm pretty sure Spirit
No,
2
it would have
owned them.
been. It was the Kato final, wasn't it? Katowice final.
Was it?
Yeah, it must have been. FaZe are dog.
Yeah, and
Um,
I can't see them, even though I would like to see it.
well, do you know what? I slightly hope Cloud9 have a good little run, man. I'm super impressed. We were talking about it the other day, weren't we? We were texting each other. Boomage, man. Big Boom. I fucking love Boomage. The guy who's just out here carrying Cloud9. Not in the stats sense, right? But just like as a leader and like organisation, the vibes in that team when they're actually playing well. Mate, if Cloud9 beat Vitality, yeah, they probably then. They probably don't beat Spirit. But
No,
no. That's the
no.
end.
I think
That's the end of that
this
then.
there's a lot of matchups. I think that are key in this little playoffs. It's not all about who's the best team. I do think Spirit are the best team, but if Spirit faced Mouse in the semis, Mouse could knock Spirit out, and then Mouse could lose. Like if it was Mouse Vitality in the finals, I'd be worried. I would say Vitality would probably win that. But for some reason, don't ask me why, I feel like Mouse can beat Spirit in the final.
Interesting. Okay, well,
Even though I do think Spirit are the best team in the world,
yeah, they
like
are.
head and shoulders.
Yeah.
But Mouse have more. Mouse will lose against more teams than Spirit will. But like I say, it's just about matchups for me. And you've got to remember who got to the finals last year.
It was
Gamer Legion, right?
Vitality Gaming Legion, yeah.
Who was leading Gamer Legion? Wasn't it Shuey?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
The
he's my
boy.
boy, mate. Best in-game leader.
What in life, in general.
in, in Counter Strike, yeah.
He just turns up during your working day and gives you some in-game leadership. Imagine that.
When you, yeah. Just going back to you talking about Cloud9, then I would love a little documentary on them. And I was thinking when we were talking about the Falcons documentary, really, do you think they should have a camera filming their post-game chats and them giving other members shit? Because then there's such a big backlash over it all.
Yeah, but there shouldn't
Do
be a
you?
backlash. That's what I'm saying. Like, the community's fucking stupid for.
No, but you can't say what should and shouldn't happen, what the community should and shouldn't say.
Yeah,
Should
I
should
say the community shut up.
should they film it though? Like, would that happen in other sports?
It
You'd have a
must
camera
do.
of the
Yeah, well,
manager.
look at Netflix stuff. Look at all the Formula One. You have the golf one. Yeah, it's what everyone wants now, isn't it? That kind of stuff.
It is what everyone wants, and I want to see more of it, to be honest with you, as a viewer. But as an organisation and as a team and as a team manager, I don't know how I would feel about that. I feel like everything's getting a little bit too under a magnifying glass, and now like everyone's like you completely disagree with everyone giving Zonic abuse or maybe just Falcons in general abuse over this abuse. Um, and you're like, it's not right, like it's fine. And everyone else is like, you should be. You know what the world's like these days as well. Like you can't fucking say anything to anyone these days. Um,
Yeah, but then those people saying that would never be in a position where they're getting paid 10 grand a month to try and win £500,000 because they would not cope with If
Exactly.
I'm getting paid, honestly, I think I tweeted about it as well. We're going back to it because it's a big topic. This I tweeted about it. And someone actually responded to me. Can't remember, and I don't know if they listened to the podcast, saying that like they got more abuse like playing Sunday League football than that. And it's like yeah, it's probably right. I played Sunday League back in London for a long time. Mate, you used to get like proper bollocks for like the simplest thing. It's like this is
Oh yeah.
free and we're in fact I'm paying. I was actually paying to get abused. You paid to get abused there. not
Yeah.
not get
Well,
paid.
you do enjoy it though.
Yeah, I don't mind. Oh well, I'd use it as motivation. I'd be like, yeah, you're fucking right. That was shit. I am shit.
Yeah,
Let's
and to
go
be
again.
fair, I think Boros kind of did, but I think it's the fact that it was a few of them pointing in at one individual who was already a bit of an outsider compared to the
Yeah.
rest of them. Anyway, I don't want to go back. I don't want to.
In which case, it's not going to work.
Yeah, I don't want to get back into it. But
Oh well, the other.
filming, having documentaries, filming you before and after the game, you releasing stress and whatnot. Do you think it's a good or bad thing
I
from a viewer's perspective and an organization perspective, like
well,
from both sides?
from a viewer's perspective, yeah. From an organisation perspective, I'd say yeah. I feel like
Okay,
I
from
like
a player and a manager's perspective as well.
well probably they're probably the ones that it's the worst for, the actual players and managers. The thing is with the organisation, it's their decision. They can choose what to put in it. They could have cut all that bit out and just had like a interview at the end with Sonic saying, "Oh, we felt that there was a few issues with Boris that we didn't quite like. He was, a few professional based stuff and also consistency in games, and we've decided to go a different route." Everyone would have just gone, "All right." Do you know what I mean? Like, so they could have
Yeah, I
done
think
that.
sometimes they just organizations want the attention, but I think personally it's good for the viewers. Like I would love to see more of it, and I would definitely watch more of it. It's good to get an insight to what's going on. But I do kind of think, as an organization, as someone if I was managing a team, I wouldn't be happy with it. I would want my players to be able to vent and talk. Like that was they use these specific moments after the game, right, to talk about how they feel after the game.
Yeah,
You're talking about your feelings. It's then getting recorded, posted online, and people are criticizing you for it. How
yeah.
can you then, after the next game, be open and honest after a game when you're worried about being criticized again?
Um, what? So, well, you're saying so the community criticizing them will affect the way they then go into the next round robin chat of feedback or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So if you're the whole point
But
of that chat is to be honest and open and kind of get your feelings out there immediately after the game while it's still hot. Yeah.
yeah, so at that point, I think you just I could if Magisk is affected by what everyone's saying, I can't imagine it. I think he's going to crack on and go, I don't care. I need to win a major.
Like
So
your corporate stuff, for example, yeah.
yeah,
When you're saying like people are kicking off about X, Y, and Z,
yeah,
that's fine. But if it was then filmed and put online, people might deal with it differently.
maybe. But that would be weird in that situation because that's not normal. But it's quite normal for these guys to be criticized by the community and like
Yeah, but
scrutinized.
not
But
yeah, for performance and during interviews and things like that, but not like immediately after the game when they're all having a chat with each other in the car
well,
park.
it is becoming more normal though, isn't it? To do that and have
It is becoming
content
more
filmed.
normal, yeah. But what I'm saying is, do you think it should be? Because I feel like they should have a space where they're able to talk to each other without a camera there.
But again, that's their choice. The Falcons didn't have to do that bit.
Yeah, I know, and I get that the organisation have decided
Then
that. But I'm saying if it was me as an
yeah,
organisation,
got it.
as a manager, as a player, if I had an org, I'd be like, no, I want you guys to be able to have
to be
At
free.
least
Yeah,
at least 15 minutes on your own to talk, and then the cameras can come in and film
fine.
15 minutes after or whatever.
So when we have the Counter Strike Casuals organisation, that's what we won't do that then.
Well, we will because we strive off that. That is our whole thing is
Yeah, I
is that.
I'm gonna cause drama even if there is none. I'm just gonna be like, fucking
Yeah.
really, disconnected my mouse during the game. That's weird.
Yeah, you keep drinking during the podcast.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, the other thing I did want to talk about was also the reaction to. Okay, this is it as well. I didn't actually watch this game. Did you watch it? The VPG2 one when James had his crash.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
I was watching.
you did watch it because you texted me. So what happened there? So do we actually know what happened? Did he crash or tab out?
No, the PC crashed. So
Was it actually a crash though? I didn't know if we actually knew. I don't know.
yeah,
Right,
yeah. Well, yeah, but everyone's saying he crashed, so
right.
I've not looked into it. But yeah,
Anyway, also, this is another thing where I'm gonna come in with this angle. Everyone in the community and all like the fucking um analysts, the desk, or all the gang, they're saying, "Oh, immense," you know. I'm tired, so I'm showing my words. Like, oh, what a great person James is. Like, what a great response. How like I don't know what the word is. Like, how fucking brilliant he was. Just like, oh, I got on with it. What else was he meant to do? It wasn't like if he smashed the computer up, you'd be like, well, that's outrageous. What are you doing? Like, the only way to deal with this is to go, yeah, it's really frustrating, and it is what it is, and I'm upset. But what can we do? We move on. And do you think they lost because of that crash? No. Like,
well,
well, it was quite a defining moment. I think. Again, I didn't watch it, so maybe that's the erroneous comment from me then. But what I'm saying is, like, there was no other way for him to. That is the right way to have reacted in the aftermath and in the interviews. So everyone going a bit like, obviously they should just be like, oh, fair play. Like, James handled it professionally, and he's done
I
that
think
well.
it's
But
because
but
it's because it's
they were so like, oh my god, James, he should
yeah.
he should be
It's
knighted. It's like, no,
because it's him and he shows like fucking little emotion anyway, and it's VP and it's like, oh, these guys are so resilient, and that's all they
yeah,
kept
that's
saying.
it,
Like
resilience.
how
Yeah,
how resilient. If anyone can do it, it's these guys, and if anyone can come back from that, it's these guys. What are you fucking on about? They were just trying to create drama over nothing. I think it was just casters doing their job.
yeah,
Um, yeah, it crashed, and I do think, to be fair, most people would have been a little bit like, "What the fuck?" Like, you would have been a little bit pissed off. It was. I'm pretty sure it was for them to take round 12,
right,
and I'm pretty sure they would have won it after that. But who's to say they would have won the round if that didn't happen? Like, it's not guaranteed, is it?
no.
He just whiffed like 2 shots before his PC crashed.
Well,
So
I think the bigger tragedy was the jump on Anubis. I can't remember who it was again because I didn't watch the game, but I saw the clip after where he'd planted, and there might have been 2 or 3 CTs, and he tried to do the jump up to heaven at Anubis, and it clipped, and he fell off basically. But you should be able to make that jump, but because of the state of Counter Strike at the moment, it didn't work and it clipped. He fell down and made a noise, and they knew where he was. I think that's more of a travesty than just your PC crashing. I was like, that's insane. That's the thing that I'd be more rattled about than a PC crash, because a PC crash is just like, what can you do? But the main
yeah,
game we're playing is still fucking doing stuff like that.
I mean, that's a gameplay issue, isn't it? Whereas
Yeah,
the PC crashing is more of a technical issue,
yeah, just a,
and
a
you
life
don't
issue
know
nowadays.
the reason why it crashed. Like, just completely depends on the reason why. Like, what was it that happened?
Yeah,
So that is like, what the fuck? Like, that is clearly someone's fault,
yeah,
or you could blame it on someone. Whereas the clipping, it's like, well, that's the game. So
yeah,
the game's a little bit shit. But yeah, I saw that, but I can't remember who it was. He was like a 1v2 or 3. So again, is he going to win that round anyway?
yeah.
Was that the same? Was that
There was,
G2 and VP?
yeah, oh, maybe not.
I remember seeing that round anyway, because I didn't realize it was like a big thing though. I watched it at the time, um, and I thought he missed the jump or something. I wasn't really paying attention.
No.
But yeah, that Jame thing was a pretty big round. And then they went to the next map. Obviously, they G2 took the map and they had to play another map. But I don't know. There's like these things and everything, isn't it? Sports and esports as well. If you're losing because a game's that close and you make some tiny mistake, you've got to live with these things. Sometimes the ref makes a wrong decision in a game. Sometimes your PC crashes.
Yeah. No, that's it. We might need to wrap this up. Next stage of the major starts tomorrow. Is there anything else you wanted to touch on before we did? There's a lot still we could talk about. We've got more on our notes, so just not sure we're gonna be able to right now.
No, I think we've squeezed a lot in. We've talked about anything I wanted to talk about. We've
Fine.
spoke about the major. We both think, well, you think Spirit are going to win, right?
Yeah.
I think Mouse, and I think we've picked the top two favourites.
Yeah. So we're going safe.
Yeah,
So
but
watch
I do think it's
Eternal
still
Fire win it
risky.
now.
Yeah, I think it is very risky, but anything could happen, like, as we know. But I'm pretty sure if Mouse don't get through to the final, Spirit will win.
Real good strong group at the playoffs though. Like this is
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
exciting. I'm excited to see what the next few days bring.
yeah,
The other side, real quickly, shout out Sprout man because they're closing down shop,
yeah. Rip.
which is not good actually. And again, it also shows how important qualifying for majors is for a fucking organisation financially and why. I mean, Falcons are finally got those money, but why again? How heated it is, and why all that makes sense more. I think when you think about how a whole organisation into the breach, into the breach basically came out and said we need to take a break from. So yes, we just can't afford it because we didn't qualify for the major.
Which
So
is mad because they just made the major once, right? So it's like you didn't expect that, so you got money that you didn't expect. So what are you
yeah,
talking about?
well, if you read the statement with Into the Breach guys, they do say they kind of hint at that right now it's not feasible for them to just be paying out salaries, I think, and competing in not that great tournaments. Um, they've got a bit of money for future rebuild, so they've stored some away, I think. I don't know if they're basically just taking a bit of a break until the next major cycle. That's the gist I got. I could be wrong.
You can't just play for a major though. Like it's way too
That's how it
risky.
seems to be going that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, it seems like everyone's playing for the major, and if they don't make it, they just fold the team. But you can't be playing like that. I think personally, these organisations need to be run a lot better, and you need to expect to not make the major. Yeah, obviously give it your all, but you can't expect that.
Yeah.
There's too many factors, and it's too difficult.
Fair enough. Right. Well, let's yeah, good chatting to you, mate. Good to see you. Glad we got that in. We survived. Um, let's see who wins. Looking forward
Yeah.
to it.
So when's it going to finish?
Sunday.
Oh
Like
yeah, finals on Sunday. Okay, so we'll catch up. I guess next time we're on, we'll know.
first CS2 major winner.
Yeah.
Nice man. All right, GG.
Peace, GG's.